Police are investigating why dozens of mutilated seals have been found dead on the North Norfolk coast. They've all been discovered at Blakeney Point, known for its large population of both the common and the grey seal. This report contains a photo which may be upsetting.
This is a new police patrol off the Norfolk coast. It's investigating the mysterious seal deaths here. Today's high spring tide and lack of beach meant there weren't many seals around, and certainly no dead ones. Since December, 38 mutilated seals have been washed up dead along our shoreline, and it's thought that many more could have been taken out to sea. Strangely, they've only been found here at Blakeney Point. Norfolk police are taking it very seriously.
We don't know what is causing it. What we do know is it's not a natural occurring phenomena. And in answer to your question, yes, if it turned out it was for something malicious, then obviously action would be taken.
This is one of the dead seals. The other photos are too gruesome to show. All had a mechanical type cut, starting at the face, spiralling around the body, causing catastrophic injury. Many have been found by wardens patrolling the National Trust land.
They're passionate about caring for the coast up here and looking after the wildlife that thrive here. So to find these animals that are clearly dying from some cause is really very upsetting for them.
The experts have ruled out fishing, studied the movements of shipping, but say they've been killed close to where they've been found.
This is a single strike from a single blade that's actually causing the entire injury. So if it is a propeller, then it has to be a propeller in a tunnel or in a cowling of some sort.
The results of 13 post-mortems, including one from a government vet, are expected soon. The advice is if you find a dead seal, don't touch it. Contact the police. Debbie Tubby, BBC Look East, Norfolk.
A businessman from Norwich will spend at least 30 years in jail after being found guilty of murdering his former girlfriend and her new partner. 45-year-old John Moody attacked Karen Brown and Kenneth Snell with a hammer and a knife in October last year.
A man from Norfolk has been found guilty of attacking a star of the TV show Dirty Sanchez. Matthew Pritchard, who's from Cardiff, needed 20 stitches after being stabbed by Mark Edward Smith near a shop in Dereham in August last year. After the verdict, Mr Pritchard used Twitter to thank the police and jury. 3 people were struck by lightning at the Lowestoft Air Festival this afternoon. A 13-year-old boy is being treated in hospital for a burn to his shoulder. 2 others, including a 16-year-old boy, were treated by St John Ambulance. Clampers on an industrial estate in Ipswich are being accused of targeting as many drivers as possible before their contract expires. City Watch has been demanding more than £1,000 to release vehicles if drivers don't pay up immediately.
465 cash. 465.
City Watch clampers in action on the Hadleigh Road industrial estate. The driver's told if the vehicle's towed away, it will cost £1,110. The lorry clamped was being driven by Andrew Miller. He'd been collecting a mattress. He'd pulled up at a bed company and gone inside to collect a parking permit.
I'd been there about 3 minutes, and when I went outside it was to see the 2 clampers. The yellow clamp was already on the vehicle.
Directors from the bed company got involved. The police were called.
If you refuse to pay for it, I'll call for a tow truck, which will charge you more. I'm not refusing to pay.
City Watch's contract began a month ago. Within days, the owners of the industrial estate cancelled it, arguing the company had failed to do what it promised. But because 30 days' notice is required to cancel the contract, the clampings continued.
I was seeing a lady parked outside here, and they clamped her very quickly, and she came back to see what had happened, and she was in tears.
Andrew Miller says he will be taking legal action to try to get his money back.
City Watch parking enforcement today suggested that Mr Miller and the bedding company may have colluded in their accusations. But by midday tomorrow, the clampers' contract will finally expire. For the industrial estate and the businesses based here, they'll be glad to see the back of them. Richard Daniel, BBC Look East, Ipswich.
Well, now more on Stephen Fry and Norwich City. With that and the rest of the sport, let's go back to Carrow Road and Tom Williams.
Yeah, Stuart, thank you. Welcome back to the Gun Club. We'll hear from Delia Smith on Stephen Fry joining the board shortly. First, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's action. At Colchester United, John Ward takes charge of his first home match since becoming manager. He took over from Aidy Boothroyd in the summer. I went to see him yesterday to see how he's settling in.
Not a household name, maybe,
but widely known and hugely respected in football.
Morning, gentlemen. You OK?
John, we're fine, thank you.
Good.
John Ward is a popular guy, delighted to be back in the managerial hot seat.
It is my team now, if you see what I mean, even though there are people from last season here. So I'm pretty pleased with what we've got.
We seem to get a relatively easy ride in there.
They're all right. They're OK. We haven't got beat yet, have we?
Yep, he's a character. With the media satisfied, just time for a quick tour.
This is where they dumped me and...
The engine room?
Well, I don't know about that. It's a pretty untidy room, to be fair. I'm not a tidy office man.
John's philosophy, work hard, play hard. Spend a few minutes with him and the world feels a better place.
Red boots, can you believe that? Hey, he's got to be a good player, hasn't he? To wear them. What's the world coming to? What's the game coming to? See you later, Brian.
10 o'clock on the dot, all aboard for training.
Morning, how are you?
Very well.
All right, good to see you. I'm very well.
Do you prefer being the boss or the assistant to the boss?
Great question. I've been both. I have to say I'm thoroughly enjoying being the boss again after a little while out of it. It's what I want to do. All right, boys, nice and bright. Let's get off that bus. Are we alive? Are we alive?
59 now, he honed his managerial skills alongside former England boss Graham Taylor at Watford, then Aston Villa. 40 seasons in football, as you can see, John as enthusiastic as ever. He spent the last 20 years managing at 6 different clubs, 3 promotions, 3 playoff finishes, a great record. Can he weave his magic yet again with these boys?
The biggest thing is you've got to be yourself. I do what I want to do and do it in the way that I think it's successful, and so far I've been all right. I'm still working, aren't I?
Still working, still smiling, still loving the game. Success, and news fans will love him too. Tom Williams, BBC Look East, Colchester.
Get in there!
And tomorrow Colchester play Sheffield Wednesday. Elsewhere in the Championship, Ipswich are out for their 3rd win of the season against Burnley, and Norwich will hope for their first league win as they travel to Scunthorpe. And in League 2, Southend travel to Aldershot. Right, we've heard from Stephen Fry. Let's hear from Norwich City's joint majority shareholder, Delia Smith. You worry Stephen will be stealing all the limelight away from you?
I hope so. That would be really nice.
What will he bring if he's not bringing in money to Norwich?
Well, I think he's going to have a great ambassadorial role, and he travels the world. He'll be able to meet up with Canaries all around the globe, and also, you know, make Norwich City Football Club better known than it is already. And also, he's got a lot of ideas, you know, and he's very funny, yes, but he's also quite serious, and he's passionate about the football club. So what more could you want, really?
Realistically, what chance will Stephen actually, what chance will he have bringing in further investment here to Norwich?
Well, we've asked him. We said if you bump into a few multimillionaires on your way, bring them in. And I'm sure he will do his utmost, as we all have. And so we'll see what happens.
Has he been making you laugh then already in the boardroom?
Yes, he's been making us laugh, yeah. It's a laugh a minute, actually. Sitting next to him at a football match, you know, you have a job to concentrate on the football because he's so funny.
Great stuff. Well, we'd better leave it there, but thanks ever so much for joining us this evening. I mentioned Norwich play Scunthorpe tomorrow. Elsewhere, there is some cricket tomorrow. The very best of luck to Essex, who are involved in 2020 finals day at the Rose Bowl. Essex first out tomorrow at 11:30.
Delia just disappearing behind you, Tom. Thank you very much.
One of the top international gymnastics teams is in Ipswich this weekend. Romania, who are ranked 3rd in the world, will be at the town's gymnastics centre to take on the British women's team. The world champion Beth Tweddle will be taking part. The site is an accredited training location for the 2012 Olympics.
Speaking to them, they reckon that the European teams probably won't travel to facilities in this country because it's not worth it. But we have got Brazil all lined up ready to come to us, and they're ranked 6th in the world. So we've still got a good team coming to us, hopefully in 2012 as well. That's all done, but signatures on the dotted line, so to speak.
Young people in Suffolk have been taking part in an activity week with soldiers from 2-3 Engineer Regiment. They've been helping them to make new friends and try new activities.
Great team! Are you ready? They're not quite old enough to be in the army yet, but these young people are enjoying a week at Rock Barracks in Woodbridge. The idea to banish holiday boredom and learn about teamwork. And for those who sometimes have challenging behaviour, it gives them the chance to burn off some energy and focus on a goal.
Throughout the week, they start to have this development, and say that their self-esteem, their self-confidence grows, and by the end of the week, you know, they really are a unit.
One of the activities, Laser Quest. Teams work together to shoot their opponents and try and avoid being shot themselves.
We have to work as a team and try to get everyone out and everything. It's really fun, and I like to kill my brother.
And if guns aren't your thing, then there's always a game of bench ball. Amy Gallagher enjoyed the week so much last year, this year she's back for more.
It's made me feel really good about myself because I come in like really unconfident, and now like I can join in with anything, be really sociable with people, and it's helped me a lot.
The hope is the young people will not only have made new friends, but be able to step up to a challenge, having learnt new skills. Felicity Semper, BBC Look East, Woodbridge.